Emma Lee Bunton is a British pop singer, best known as a member of the girl group the Spice Girls formed in the 1990s. Bunton is known as Baby Spice as she is the youngest member. In 2009 she began as a radio presenter on the Heart Breakfast show in London with Jamie Theakston and presenting her own show on Saturday between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. Her debut solo album, A Girl Like Me, was released in the United Kingdom on April 16, 2001 by Virgin Records. The album debuted and peaked at number 4 on the UK Albums Chart. It was certified gold by the British Phonographic Industry for sales in excess of 100,000 copies, ultimately becoming the 147th best-selling album in the United Kingdom for 2001. The album brought the United Kingdom and New Zealand #1 single, What Took You So Long, as well as top 5 hits, What I Am, and Take My Breath Away, and the top 20 hit We're Not Gonna Sleep Tonight. Bunton's second album, Free Me, was released in 2004 through 19 Entertainment Universal Records. 4 singles were taken from it, Free Me, Maybe, I'll Be There, and Cricket's Sing for Anna Maria. Bunton reunited with the Spice Girls in 2007 for an international tour and greatest hits album. From 2003 to 2012 Bunton had a recurring role on the BBC comedy series Absolutely Fabulous. Bunton performed at the 2012 Summer Olympics closing ceremony on August 12 with the Spice Girls. Bunton's television appearances include being a judge on the ITV skating show Dancing on Ice and the ITV entertainment series Your Face Sounds Familiar. She has guest hosted a number of shows including GMTV, Lorraine and This Morning Summer. Music career, 1976 to Euro 92, early life and career beginnings. Bunton was born in Finchley, North London. Her parents, Pauline, a karate instructor, and Trevor, a milkman, split up when she was 11, after which she stayed with her mother. She has a younger brother, Paul James. Bunton went to St. Teresa's Roman Catholic Primary School, N32TD in Finchley. She appeared briefly in the BBC series EastEnders in 1992 as a mugger. In 1993, she appeared in the ITV1 police series, The Bill, and also made a brief appearance as a prostitute in the BBC drama series To Play the King. Bunton also appeared in a public information film for the British government concerning fire safety. 1993 to Euro 2000, Spice Girls. She joined the Spice Girls in 1993. Bunton was called Baby Spice. She was the youngest, had long blonde pigtails, wore baby doll dresses and had a girly girl personality. The debut single Wannabe was the first of 9 #1s in the United Kingdom for the Spice Girls. As a songwriter, Bunton set the shortest time to achieve 6 #1 UK singles, 1 year and 5 months from Wannabe to Too Much. In 1999, she presented Emma on VH1. She recorded, Hey You, Free Up Your Mind for the film Poker copyright Mon, the first movie. 2001 to Euro 05, A Girl Like Me and Free Me, her debut solo album, A Girl Like Me, released in the United Kingdom on April 16, 2001 by Virgin Records. The album debuted and peaked at number 4 on the UK Albums Chart, with 21,500 copies sold in its first week. Although initial success was promising, A Girl Like Me fell down the chart quickly. However, singles, What Took You So Long, Take My Breath Away, and We're Not Gonna Sleep Tonight helped the album stay on the UK Albums Chart for several weeks. On September 7, 2001, A Girl Like Me was certified gold by the British Phonographic Industry for sales in excess of 100,000 copies, ultimately becoming the 147th best-selling album in the United Kingdom for 2001. Lackluster sales may be partially explained by the fact that the album was not released in Latin America and North America. The album brought the UK #1, What Took You So Long, as well as top 5 hits, What I Am, and Take My Breath Away, and the top 20 hit We're Not Gonna Sleep Tonight. The album sold 125,000 copies in the United Kingdom. Disappointing sales led to Bunton's leaving Virgin in 2002. Bunton performed at Party at the Palace, an event that was held at Buckingham Palace Garden on June 3, 2002 in commemoration of the Golden Jubilee of Elizabeth II. Her solo performance at the event was a cover of the Supremes' 1964 hit Baby Love. Bunton's second album, Free Me, was released in 2003 through 19 Entertainment Universal Records. 4 singles were taken from it: Free Me, Maybe, I'll Be There, and Cricket's Sing for Anna Maria. After success in the American dance charts, the album was sold in North America. The American edition included remixes and a different cover. The album was the second to follow her 2001 release, A Girl Like Me, and spent over 12 weeks inside the UK albums chart, peaking at number 7 and selling over 141,712 copies, earning Gold Award status. The album was widely acclaimed by critics as being the one of best solo Spice records ever due to its catchy and fun use of sounds from the Motown in the 1960s era. The album was largely produced by Mike Pedden and Yak Bondi, who have produced tracks for S Club 7 and Lucy Silvers, to name a few. Other contributions on the album courtesy of Kathy Dennis, Henry Binns and Puerto Rican singer Luis Fonsi. One Thing I Know, an unreleased track co-written by Bunton for Free Me, was recorded by another 19 management act, S Club 8, for their album Sundown. Bunton's original vocals can clearly be heard on S Club 8's version. The lead single, Free Me, was released in the spring of 2003. The song immediately picked up airplay, and the single sold well in the United Kingdom, peaking at number 5 on the UK singles chart. Maybe was released as the second single in the autumn of 2003, and also gained extensive airplay throughout the United Kingdom, peaking at number 6, one position lower than its predecessor. In the spring of 2004, the album and its third single, I'll Be There, were released. The single, like its two predecessors, performed well on the charts, peaking at number 7, one position below Maybe, and 2 positions below Free Me. The album sold more copies in its first week than her debut solo record had, and would ultimately go on to outsell it by 25,000 copies. With this, Bunton became the only Spice Girls member to have sold more copies of her second album than her first in UK. Later in the year, the fourth single, Cricket's Sing for Anna Maria, was released. Despite its harder beat and grittier sound, by now the impact of Free Me was beginning to wear off, and the song only came in at number 15 on the UK singles chart, totaling 25,000 copies, and becoming Bunton's lowest-selling single. In the United States, both Free Me and Maybe were dance club regulars, reaching number 4 and number 6 on the US Billboard Hot Dance Club Play respectively. In 2005, Bunton filmed guest roles in 2 Bollywood films, Fire Mine Twist and Chocolate, Deep Dark Secrets, 2006 A Euro 08, Life in Mono and Spice Girls Reunion. In October 2006, Bunton was a contestant in the BBC programme Strictly Come Dancing, partnered by Darren Bennett. She finished 3rd place in the final. In November 2006, Bunton released the charity single for the BBC Children in Need appeal, recording Petula Clark's 1960s song Downtown. It reached number 3 on the UK singles chart and was followed by her 3rd studio album, Life in Mono, on December 4. The album was originally set for a November release in the United Kingdom, however it was later pushed back to December 4, 2006. Life in Mono, much like her previous album, Free Me, experimented with elements of 1960s pop music. For this particular album, the musical arrangement was more directed towards the 1960s French pop music, with some elements of British 1960s pop and Motown. The first single taken from the album was a cover of Petula Clark's 1964 hit single Downtown, released on November 13. Downtown is the 2006 BBC Children in Need official charity single and reached number 3 in the UK singles chart. All I Need to Know was released as second single. Bunton had been working on her 3rd release since winter 2004. The album's title track is a cover version of the hit Life in Mono by 1990s trip-hop band Mono, best known through its usage in the 1998 film Great Expectations. The track Take Me to Another Town contains a sample from Herb Alpert's 1965 Green Peppers. Due to Emma's pregnancy, all forms of promotion were cancelled after a few months. Rumors of a third single surfaced through sites after Emma stated she was thinking of releasing a third single, however this never came. The songs I Wasn't Looking, Perfect Strangers and Take Me to Another Town were rumored. Although it sold almost 13,000 copies in its first week, the album was Emma's first not to reach the UK top 10. It debuted on the UK Albums Chart at number 65 on December 10, 2006, falling to number 75 in its second week and dropped out of the chart the following week. On the whole, the album sold around 60,000 copies in the United Kingdom. The album entered the UK Albums Chart at 65, selling 13,000 copies in its first week. The second single from it was All I Need to Know, on February 12, 2007, intended for Valentine's Day. Bunton shot the video around Old Street in East London, in the week before Christmas 2006. Entering the UK singles chart at 60, All I Need to Know became the lowest charting single of Bunton's solo career. 2012 A Euro Present, Viva Forever Musical, Second Spice Girls Reunion and other projects. Judy Kramer teamed up with the Spice Girls and Simon Fuller and began to develop a Spice Girls musical entitled Viva Forever. Although the girls were not to star in the show themselves, they were to influence the show's cast and production choices in a story which uses their music but bears no relation to their personal story. Similar to that of ABBA's music in Mamma Mia. On June 26, 2012, all 5 Spice Girls were in attendance at a press conference in London to promote the launch of Viva Forever, the musical. The press conference was held at St Pancras Renaissance London Hotel, the location where the Spice Girls filmed the music video for their breakthrough hit Wannabe, 16 years earlier, to the day. The musical opened at the West End's Piccadilly Theatre on December 11, 2012. After poor reviews from critics and a loss of £5 million, the show has its final performance on June 29, 2013. On August 12, 2012, after much speculation, Bunton and the Spice Girls performed a medley of Wannabe and Spice Up Your Life at the 2012 Summer Olympics closing ceremony, reuniting solely for the event. Their performance was the most tweeted moment of Olympics closing ceremony with over 116,000 tweets on Twitter per minute. Bunton also worked with fellow Spice Girl Melanie C on her 2012 album, Stages for the album track I Know Him So Well. The song was released as a single on November 11, 2012. In March 2014, Bunton, along with Melanie C, took part in recording England's 2014 World Cup song. She collaborated with the likes of fellow pop stars, Eliza Doolittle, Katie B., Conor Maynard, Kimberly Walsh and Pixie Lott, on Greatest Day, a track originally performed by British band, Take That. The track was produced by Gary Barlow and recorded at Psalm Studios in London. The track also featured past footballers such as Gary Lineker, Michael Owen, Jeff Hurst, David Seaman, Peter Shilton, Glenn Hoddle and Dion Dublin on backing vocals. Other work, radio, in February, and again between May and June 2009, she starred as guest presenter on Heart London's Heart Breakfast alongside Jamie Theakston and Harriet Scott. Bunton began hosting her own pre-recorded Saturday drive time radio show on Heart in the Saturday afternoon slot 4 p.m. Euro 7 p.m. starting on Saturday 13 June 2009. Bunton provided maternity leave cover for Heart Breakfast co-presenter Harriet Scott from October 3 until December 23, 2011 on Heart London. On January 2012, Bunton reprised her role as one of fictional PR manager Edina Monsoon's disgruntled clients in a revival of the BBC's Absolutely Fabulous. Following Harriet Scott's departure from Heart Breakfast in November 2012, it was announced Bunton would succeed her as co-host along with Jamie Theakston from January 7, 2013. Television and film, Bunton has been seen in a television commercial for the supermarket chain Tesco. She also had a cameo role on the Australian soap opera Neighbours in the episode, What's a Spice Girl Like You? Aired on March 19, 2007 in Australia, and on May 25, 2007 in the United Kingdom. Bunton returned to U.S. screens with a nationwide commercial for Prego in May 2007. In July 2008, Bunton stood in as co-presenter alongside Richard Madeley on the television show Richard and Judy while Judy Finnegan was recovering from a knee operation. In October 2008, Bunton appeared on the UK series of The X Factor to assist Judge Dania Minogue in choosing the 3 best over-25s acts to take through to the live shows. In December 2008, Bunton debuted as a member of the panel on Loose Women on ITV. In February 2010, Bunton appeared in a UK national television campaign first aired during Coronation Street, showing her in the Heart Radio studios at the start and the end of the advert. In January 2010, Bunton joined the ICE panel on ITV dancing show Dancing on Ice replacing former judge Ruthie Henshall. She stepped down from this role on December 2, 2011. Bunton hosted Channel 5's Don't Stop Believing from July to August 2010. In August 2010, Bunton guest presented GMTV with Lorraine on GMTV. On October 8, 2010, November 19, 2010 and January 7, 2011, she guest presented Lorraine on ITV Breakfast. In August 2012, she made a cameo appearance in Keith Lemon, the film. In the summer of 2013, Bunton was a judge on the ITV Saturday night entertainment series Your Face Sounds Familiar alongside Julian Clary and a different guest judge each week. Personal life: Bunton has been in a relationship with singer Jade Jones since 2000. Bunton became engaged to Jones on January 23, 2011. The couple have 2 sons, Bo Lee Jones and Tate Lee Jones. Filmography: television, film, radio, discography. A Girl Like Me, Free Me, Life in Mono, references. External links: official website, Emma Bunton at the Internet Movie Database.